I'm Mr. Otayde, a native of the province of Antique, which is located in Region 6, in the island of the Philippines. By profession, I am a teacher, but I am also a politician. I'm also an NGO worker, and I am also an employee of the government. I've been teaching for the last 25 years, and I teach subjects in political science, in ethics, philosophy, and fields of law, like international law, introduction to law, local government, and etc., etc. I'll be speaking on things that matters most to my heart, and that is how I teach students in the field of ethics, philosophy, and sociology. So the things that I'm going to say are the things that I exactly teach my students for the last 25 years. Speaking of principles, of course, we have some values that we uphold and we live by. Among these values that I cherish are values of simplicity, and I am a fan of one of the greatest of all virtues, and that is the virtue of humility. There are things that science can and cannot and will never define. Matters of faith are in the realm of religion, while matters of evidence are in the realm or in the field of science. Now, if there is a conflict between creation and the belief of religion, I think that the two can be reconciled. It's really a question of the kind of person and the type of person that more significantly believes in the evolution of man, and hence he would be embracing the Darwinian theory of evolution, that we all came from cells and that we are the order of primates. But you will note that even in the Charles Darwin theory of the evolution of man, there was this missing link, which until today scholars in science and even in philosophy cannot explain. The missing link. Perhaps this missing link is the thing that defines religion as a faith, as a belief, rather than as a science. Man cannot question his fellow man, whatever his faith will be. It is a feeling, and it comes from the heart. It does not come from the mind. Let us all emphasize that not all the things that we believe into are things dictated by the mind. There are things that we believe into that are dictated by the heart. And religion as a faith is a matter of the heart and not a matter of the mind. Definitely, otherwise, chaos will be the result in the world order if science and religion cannot coexist. Actually, we define state as a community of persons, more or less numerous, occupying a definite portion of territory and having a government that expresses the will of the people, and that the state is having or enjoying sovereignty from external control, and that state also exercises authority from within its own citizens. In the case of religion, our constitution is very emphatic. There is the separation of the church and state. It is in our constitution. In other words, the state respects religion, and religion does not transcend the authority, which is the state. So, if I would analyze, it is a symbiotic relationship. History is replete with situations where a state, while it may become dictatorial or authoritarian, still there exists religion. Because for as long as there are people, for as long as there are citizens, there are diverse faith and religion which these people must always believe into. The state becomes the oppressor if it will not acknowledge the religion of people. As they say, render unto Caesar what is for Caesar, and render unto God what is for God. The state and religion must always reconcile. Of course, I think the premise would be wrong in the sense that the state can exist without religion, and religion can exist without a state. The two can either be related or coordinated, or they can be separated. It doesn't matter. Time has told us, and philosophers, the wise men of the ages have told us that it doesn't matter whether a state or religion can coexist. One can exist without the other. We are still a third world country, and we have, as one of our best resources, are our human resources, and that is why there is a big economy generated by the income derived from the salaries of our OFWs. Now, as the issue of the social effect on us, of course it has social effect on us. That's why if our parents are not with their children, what happens? The core social basic unit, which is the family, is already destroyed. Because it would seem to me that the Filipinos are more inclined for the material things rather than the spiritual things. As a matter of fact, even in our curriculum, in our educational system, courses are more prioritized on the basis of what can they offer in terms of employment. That is a very, very wrong paradigm or a wrong direction towards our sense of values. Can we not, for once, focus on courses that matters most, that makes us realize that we are transformed, our human spirit, our souls are transformed as good citizens. That's why courses in the liberal arts, for instance, philosophy courses, political science courses, sociology courses, community development courses. In terms of employment, there is no guarantee. But in terms of changing the people within us, of changing our students, of imparting to them the knowledge that in the end, it is still the spirit that counts and not the material ones that govern our temporal world. Unfortunately, that is how our educational system is today. I have seen it. I have seen how our system has evolved from the idealism of sacrifice to the practicality of commercial one and needs. Well, there's nothing wrong with them. Unfortunately, they are stereotyped as a sector which are not normal. Perhaps many would think that way, but for me, because I've been in the sector of the society, and with all humility and modesty, I can say that I am an enlightened citizen and an educated person, and there is nothing wrong with LGBT communities. As a matter of fact, they excel. Only that they are being stereotyped as something that is out of the ordinary. I think that is a wrong stereotyping. You know, altruism is a defective norm of morality. Now, why defective norm? Because there are that is under the defective norm of utilitarianism. And there are of two kinds. The defective norm of egoism, which is individual, and the defective norm of altruism, which is societal or community. Now, let's zero in on this behavior known as altruism. It is some sort of a standard imposed by the community. And you are correct in telling me that we have to take care of each other. It is easier said than done, because another form of defective norm which disturbs the right values of people is the defective norm known as hedonism. And what is that? The individual love for worldly desire and the desire for comfort and convenience. We should address this first. People must first sacrifice their individual self-care, self-love, and their self-sense of survival before we can even talk of altruism. It's happening right now in our country. It requires a sense of enlightenment. They should be enlightened. If you can't do that, then altruism will just remain as it is. A belief, a theory that can never be applied in our daily lives.